On my first Caminos, I got injured, I packed all the wrong stuff, I even managed to get lost. I made every mistake in the book, but I learned so much from those mistakes. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to avoid the biggest Camino mistakes so you can get to Santiago safely. The first mistake that so many pilgrims make is overpacking, which can lead to injury. This is me on my first Camino. My backpack was so heavy, it felt like I had a fridge freezer on my back. I quickly realized I packed way too much stuff. But what should you pack? Let's take a look. You only really need to pack 2 outfits. One for walking in, and one for relaxing in. And after each day's walking is over, you just clean your clothes and wear them again the next day. Everybody does it on Camino. Replace everyday items with lightweight travel versions. Leave that heavy beach towel at home. If you're walking in the warmer summer months, ditch the heavy sleeping bag and take a sleeping bag liner instead. Resist the urge to pack extra or just in case items. Spain has lots of shops, so you can easily buy items if they run out. Remember, everything you pack, you have to carry. So before you put it in your bag, ask yourself, do I really need this? You'll be surprised how little you need on Camino to be happy. Now, if you only listen to one thing in this video, please listen to this next section, because this mistake is how people quickly go from feeling amazing on Camino to having to go home early. When you arrive on Camino, you're a ball of energy, a mixture of excitement and nerves. You step off the train in Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port. It's real now. It's happening. But the excitement of the first few days can cause you to push past your limits and walk further and faster than your body is used to. The warning signs can be subtle. It could show up as a tight calf, maybe a sore ankle or a little niggle in your knee. And more often than not, you choose to ignore it and you think, it'll be fine, it'll ease off tomorrow. How do I know this? Well, this happened to me. This is 2019. I'm smiling here, but I'd been walking for days with a really sore ankle. But I ignored it and just kept going because I wanted to stick with the group. By the time I got to Burgos that day, my ankle was in a bad way and I could hardly walk. I went to the doctor and was ordered to stop walking for a minimum of 3 days. If you take one thing from this section, it's this. Your first week on Camino isn't about proving anything to anyone. Give your body time to adjust and to settle in. Take your time. You've got 500 miles to walk. Now, the next Camino mistake is one that could leave you wet and miserable. But thankfully, there's an easy fix for it. Oh. Woo! Very, very wet today. There's a famous quote that is perfect for this next Camino mistake. There's no such thing as bad weather, only unsuitable clothing. If you're walking in winter or early spring, especially in Galicia or Asturias on the Camino Primitivo, it's going to rain. So you need to pack waterproof clothing. If you pack right, a rainy day on Camino is nothing to fear. Alternatively, if you're walking in late spring, summer, take light clothes, a hat for sun protection, and footwear your feet can breathe in, because it can get very, very hot. This might sound super obvious, but pack for the season you're walking in. Now, the next mistake is one that can be really comforting at first, but it can lead to you being separated from the friends you make on Camino. Before I offend anyone with this next Camino mistake, hear me out. On my first Camino, I booked every day's accommodation from start to finish, which was comforting. I was nervous and I didn't know what to expect. But there's a problem with this approach. You meet so many amazing people on Camino. People you want to hang out with, grab dinner, drinks, and maybe even all stay together. If you pre-book all your accommodation and the group say stay in a different town to you, you're not going to be able to join them. My recommendation, book your first few nights then see how you go. If you're walking the Camino Frances, try booking from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port to Pamplona, as there's often shortages of beds along this section. It eases up after this, so then you can either just turn up on the day or book in advance. This approach gives you so much more flexibility and allows you to adapt or change your plans when you meet new people. Now, the next Camino mistake can be a painful one if you choose to ignore it. Walking with blisters can be very painful, but thankfully, your body has an early warning sign that can help you stop them from forming. A blister occurs when the same spot on your skin gets rubbed again and again. Before a blister forms, the friction irritates the skin and makes it feel hot. This is called a hot spot. Believe it or not, hot spots are your friend, so don't ignore them. Now, let me show you what you can do to help stop blisters from forming. Wear a good pair of hiking socks. They will help wick the sweat away from your feet. If your socks get damp when walking, consider changing them midway through the day, or at least get your feet out of your shoes and into the sunshine when you stop for a break. Use an Engo blister patch to create a low friction glide zone where that hot spot is in your shoe. Or consider covering the affected area with a plaster and some tape, so that gets rubbed instead of your skin. Blisters do not have to be part of your Camino if you take care of your feet. Now, the next Camino mistake is one that took me years to learn, and it might surprise you. Beautiful beach. I always thought you needed to take 3, 4, 5, even 6 weeks of leave to have a truly authentic Camino experience. But I was wrong. You can have an amazing, life-changing Camino experience on some of the shorter routes, and there are some amazing ones out there. You can experience the pleasure of being part of a Camino family walking for just 1 week on the Camino Inglés from Ferrol. There's also a shorter option from A Coruña, which only takes 3 to 4 days of walking. Only have 2 weeks, then fly to Porto and walk to Santiago, either on the central or the coastal route, 2 stunningly beautiful Camino routes. Only have a few days, then walk to the coastal towns of Finisterre or Murcia, ending your Camino by the ocean. There are lots of wonderful shorter Camino routes that don't require lots of leave to go and walk them. Now, the next Camino mistake is one that people fear will keep them awake all night long. When I first walked the Camino, I avoided albergues. I thought they were packed full of snoring, farting pilgrims. But there are lots of different types of albergues, and they are such great places for meeting people and forming friendships. Staying in albergues and experiencing communal living helps make the Camino such a unique and memorable trip. Yes, there can be some nights where someone snores and you contemplate murder, but there are lots of other wonderful nights in albergues, filled with communal meals, drinks, and songs. Why would you want to miss out on that? My advice? Every so often, treat yourself to a private room so you can take a break from communal living and recharge your batteries. Now, before you go on Camino, I want to recommend some amazing albergues for you. In this video, I recommend 7 must-stay albergues that will give you such a unique, special Camino experience. So I recommend checking out that video.